Yo guys, welcome back to another weekly trading review, man. I'm gonna be going over this week's trading performance and what I did wrong this week, what I did well this week, how I can improve and eventually reach my goal of becoming a consistently profitable trader at the end of the year. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video, man. Yeah, enjoy the video. Yo, what's good, guys? Welcome back to another weekly trading review. I'm gonna be going over this week's trading performance and the biggest mistakes I made this week and how I can improve going into next week and actually becoming a consistently profitable trader at the end of the year. So yeah, this week was very good actually, even though the P&L was negative. So let's just get into it, man. So uh, I'm just gonna have it like this. So yeah. Weekly trading review. I'm down 1% of my account size. I'm down 319 kroner. I had five trading days this week. I had 4 trades taken. Win rate is at 25%, so not the best. I had 1 win and 3 losses. Rule adherence score was at 4 out of 5 days. Emotional control average was 8.6 out of 10. Daily performance rating average was 8.1 out of 10. So very strong. So this week was structurally healthier than last week, even though the P&L was still negative. Last week's defining issue was emotional interference during trade management, with greed and fear exits and revenge trading. This week shows a clear behavioral correction. I had no revenge trades, no TP manipulation, no emotional spirals after losses. Losses came mostly from normal market outcomes, not discipline breakdowns. Uh, so the key shift this week was from emotional state management errors to consistent execution discipline. The capital result was slightly negative, I'm down 1%, but the process quality improved significantly, which is the more important signal. So I'm going to be going over what I did well this week. So number one, mechanical execution of A plus setups. The most important improvement was clean execution discipline across uh, yeah. Across the week, I had valid setups were recognized correctly, entries were executed without hesitation, trades were set and left according to plan, and losses were accepted calmly. Both AZI and ATCP were legitimate A plus setups with correct entries. Even though they lost, they represented good trading, not mistakes. Professional trading requires ability to execute good trades even when they lose. This week showed strong progress towards that mindset. Number two, emotional stability after consecutive losses. This week began with 2 losing trades in a row. Historically, sequences like this often trigger revenge trades, overtrading, emotional attempts to recover losses, but none of those behaviors appear this week. Instead, on Wednesday or day 3 was a correct no trade day after I took 2 losses. So patience remained intact, emotional control remained high. This is major psychological improvement, so that's a very good thing. Loss tolerance is improving dramatically. That is a critical professional trading skill, so that's a really good thing. I'm happy about. I'm very proud of myself to see the progress for myself. So number 3, I continued elite patience on non-opportunity days. On Wednesday was a textbook professional no trade session, was the correct action taken, ignored B tier setup, and maintained patience despite recent losses. I stayed focused on process rather than recovery. This confirms a stable behavioral baseline. My default state in uncertain markets is now discipline and patience, not compulsion. Uh, that is a strong structural improvement compared to earlier weeks. Number 4, I have strong emotional resilience across the week. Another positive signal was consistent emotional stability. Emotional control scores were high at the 8.5, 9, 9, 7.5, and a 9. Even after losses, trading behavior remained controlled. Importantly, losses did not impact the ability to execute the winning trade on Friday on BIAF, which was this trade. And this demonstrates growing psychological independence between trades. Each trade is increasingly treated as an isolated event rather than part of recovery cycle. That is professional progress. And now I'm going to be going over what went wrong this week. So this week contained only one true rule violation, which is a large improvement from previous weeks. However, there are still two process weaknesses emerging. Number one was a FOMO entry on Thursday on ATPC. This was one of the clear discipline breakdown of the week. Key characteristics of the trade. I recognized the B tier setups. Entry happened despite that recognition. Motivation was partly desire to participate. So I can actually take this trade up. It was ATPC, if I'm correct. And it was on Thursday, which was here. I am very sure I took this trade here. I'm very sure this was the trade. And it was just not a good trade. Yeah. It was a B tier setup. Price was grinding instead of expanding. Traded too close to pre-market high resistance and lack of momentum confirmation. The mistake was non-analytical. I already knew the setup quality was lower, the discipline gap between recognition and action. The rule is simple. Recognizing a B tier setup must automatically equal no trade. So yeah. Number two, inconsistent response to structure breaks. A stable issue appeared on AZI on day one. The trade itself was valid and executed correctly. However, there was an important reflection afterwards. Structure broke before the stop loss. This reveals a new refinement layer. In my trading development. Currently, the rule is set TP and stop loss and leave the trade. But advanced trade management sometimes requires recognizing clear structural invalidation before stop loss is hit. The challenge is distinguishing between normal volatility versus actual structural failure. This skill develops over time and should be implemented carefully to avoid emotional exits. Right now, the important takeaway is simply continue improving objective price reading during trades. I need to be able to objectively look at what price is telling me, even if I'm in a trade or not. So, my market reading abilities is very good when I'm not in a trade and I'm not having money on the line. But the minute I have money on the line, that objection can be screwed, or it can be twisted into seeing things that is actually not there because I have money blindness in some type of way. So, daily breakdown. This was every day of the week. On Monday, the outcome was negative 0.9%. Behavior quality was good. On my notes, it was a correct A plus trade and a normal loss. On Tuesday, the outcome was 0.78% down. Behavior quality was very good, clean execution, emotionally neutral loss. On Wednesday was a no trade day outcome. Behavior quality was excellent and was a professional no trade day. On Thursday, I took another loss. Behavior quality was average. It was a FOMO entry on B tier setup, which was this setup right here. It was not a good setup and should never have taken this trade. And on Friday, I took a W. I took a win. I'm up 1.5%. Behavior quality was excellent. On notes, it was a high quality A plus execution. So there is an emerging pattern. Looking at the last 3 weeks, a very clear evolution is happening. Earlier phase, overtrading and chasing behavior. Then I got hesitation on A plus setups, which was the biggest problem. And then I had problems with emotional trade management mistakes. Now execution discipline is stabilizing. The current structure looks like market reading is improving, participation is improving, emotional stability is improving, and setup filtering is mostly strong. The remaining weakness is occasional participation in B tier setups. This is a much smaller problem layer than earlier behavioral issues. So that's a really good thing. It's not that big of a problem. It's a smaller problem, but I still need to be able to fix it. So Key observation: my market understanding is improving faster than my discipline automation. So the evidence I have for this is I am currently identifying A plus setups, B tier setups, and poor market conditions. However, occasionally the execution becomes recognition into hesitation into participation anyway. The goal is now perfect alignment between analysis and action. When my analysis says B tier setup, the trade must automatically not happen. No internal negotiation. So that is what I'm working towards. So the conclusion was that this week was a clear process improvement week, even with the small negative P&L. So key outcomes this week was negative 1% capital impact, 3 normal losses, 1 rule violation on a FOMO entry, 1 high quality winner, 1 professional no trade day, and most importantly, there was no emotional spirals, no revenge trades, and no TP manipulation. That represents significant progress compared to last week. The foundation of my trading behavior is becoming much more stable. Now the focus shifts towards precision discipline and continued market reading refinement. So my focus for next week is number 1, zero tolerance for B tier setups. Zero tolerance for B tier setups. My biggest leak is now taking trades I already know are lower quality. So my rule reinforcement is if a setup is identified as a B tier or worse, no trade day. No trade. I already said this multiple times. I just need to say it over and over again because it's so important. No exceptions. Discipline must override participation desire. Number 2, I need to continue executing A plus trades without outcome attachment. This week demonstrated an important principle. Good trades can still lose. My job is not to predict winners. My job is to execute high probability setups consistently. Continue focusing on small controlled losses, correct entries, process consistency. The P&L will follow. Number 3, continue strengthening patience between opportunities. My patience is becoming one of my strongest trading traits. I need to be able to protect it. Professional traders often make very few trades per week. My trade frequency is currently aligned with that model. So my action plan with my priority rules, number 1 is A plus setups only. I've had this like every single week on my priority rules. A plus setups only. No participation in B tier setups. Continue set and leave trade management. So tactical adjustments. So before every session, I need to define A plus criteria clearly. This need to happen and this need to happen. Except that many days may contain no trades. During session, if a setup feels forced, step away for several minutes. Let the trade prove itself before entry. After entry, maintain mechanical execution. So my summary to carry forward, strengths. I have emotional control is strong, revenge trading is eliminated, patience remains elite, A plus setups recognition is improving, execution discipline is improving. My weakness, occasional FOMO entries on B tier setups. Continues development needed in reading structure during trades. Core issue now is discipline alignment between analysis and execution. I'm increasingly seeing the right trades. The next stage is simply only trading the ones I already know are correct. Trajectory remains positive. Behavioral mistakes are getting smaller, rarer, and less expensive. That is exactly how professional trading and development typically progress. Yeah, so that was it for my weekly trading review. We have went over what I did well this week, what I did wrong this week, how I can fix those issues and my main issues I have, and uh, what I need to focus on going into next week. So maybe I was talking about something you are struggling with personally, or something you recognize you're doing the same and you might have found the answer today. I don't know. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is my documentation of becoming a consistently profitable trader at the end of the year. So Thank you guys for watching. Have a blessed day and peace out.